and welcome to Add More Zest. My name's Rebecca, also known as 4Kids at 147. Happy 17th of December, everybody. We are working on this square up here. So let's have a look. I may need to do a little bit of rearranging of 23, but we're getting very close to not having to mess about with any cover sheets because they are very close to getting to be all standalone squares. We have a gorgeous Christmas tree for today with a nice scattering of ABs to give that sparkle. So let's zoom in. There we go, trying to get as close as I can today. So I'm working with a tray from July of 2021 and a stock pen that we hold as a regular one that you can pick up at any point. But I hope everybody is having a good beginning to the weekend. Next weekend it all goes down. It all happens. Yeah, big day in just short of a week, which I am not ready for, but I'm hoping. I'm very ready in the fact of Christmas presents, etc. I'm not packed. I've not even really particularly thought of packing, and I still have quite a few things I want to do on my to-do list. So my plan this weekend is to get as many of those done as possible. But first, we start with diamond painting. Because why not? Why not start with getting this gorgeous Advent another day onwards? And then I'll see how much I can get accomplished this weekend. I'm mainly wanting to get videos for while I'm away. I think most of the shop items are now sorted to make it easier for Megan to do the shop while potentially working some of it while I'm away. But yeah, I want to get my videos, I think, is my main thing this weekend. I normally try not to film it as many as I can. I try and film most of them through the week if I can. But this weekend, I think I'm going to go hard or go home and get as many done as I can so that I can start winding down as the week goes on to be more ready for Christmas and more switch into Australia mode is the idea. Diamond Sparkle Chase. Oh, this is going to be a long one if I can't get my words out already. She says, oh, wow, it turned out nicely. Love the whip and waffle. Thank you. Lisa says she gets a kick out of those stories. She says now she wishes she had got an advent calendar so she could see what was in day 8, as everyone is talking about. Yes, day 8 in the 12 day has proved to be a very popular one. But we will hold off on all advent discussions because some people have not yet got to day 8. In their 12 day if they started opening it on the 13th. They'll only be on day 4. So we can't spoil any surprises just yet. Kay says she would definitely buy the calendar if it got restocked as it's beautiful. Thank you. So we will be looking at that in the new year. We'll see what we can arrange to restock and indeed when, to try and ensure that everybody that wants can get, but also not over ordering too much, basically because of space. But we shall see what we can do. Elise says she thinks Zesty Wolf will always hold a special place for you. It does. She says because it was the first one that you created for Advent. She says, oh my, she says she's so excited for January and the trashy trays. She says she has 3 of our trays, so she feels as though she just needs the cute little trashy. She said purple is a good colour, lol. She said it will fit well in with my 2 purple trays from you. A lot of work to sell the trashy tray as a cover minder, but she says she better start saving now. I'm glad you're all as excited for trashy tray as we are. We have a lot of them. I've dropped a grey one on my, and I can't see where it is. Oh, there it is, found it. I had to rub my hands over the painting to find out where it had gone to. It had disappeared. Okay, let's do my other grey. I might not need that many. Yeah, we have quite a few trashy trays to bring it out for launch. So there should be enough for everybody, and in turn then going forward. Kathy, she says, hi Rebecca. She says she's working on her Santa picture tonight as she watches and listens. She says she always enjoys the waffles. She says they're my favourite. She says about the wax coming out of your pen so often. She says she has noticed that the metal tips, usually purchased separately, are hard to load with wax or putty. She says she's not a glue dots fan. She said after you finally get the wax in, she said the wax pulls out when placing a diamond and empties the pen tip. She says she found it so annoying she's not using the metal tips anymore. She says loved hearing about Luna and the snow. Love from the US. Oh, I've not noticed that with metal tips. However, I will say that most, if not all, of my metal tips now have glue dots. Some of them have had wax in the past. And the ones that I was losing wax on my Advent were all brass tips. They were all in pens where I couldn't put a metal tip in. So therefore they still had the original wax, because I do find if you take wax out of a pen tip and put a glue dot in, sometimes the glue dot won't hold because of the residue from the wax, and therefore you end up, with the glue dot coming out all the time. I've not noticed it before I started using glue dots, but I will take your word for it on that one, because I haven't used wax for quite a while, bar those few pen tips that I need to use the wax on. Melanie, she says, oh my goodness, so cute. She said she'd wish she had found me in time to get your Advent and join you. She said she loves this idea and hopes to join next year. Well, it plans to continue next year, so hopefully you will be able to join us. You can still join in by diamond painting, just making sure that you set aside yourself a little bit of time each day to complete a section of a painting, which you will finish just before Christmas. But the main idea is to get some me time. Is what you primarily want. Right, I've tipped a load of these blue out. Oh, I knocked my tray far too much then. These are lining up really quickly and easily. And I like to, when I'm working with an area where I know I've got quite a lot to do, if I tip out a lot of diamonds. I like to get a lot of them lined up here and then just let the rest sit down here, and then when I've cleared about half my tray or just before, I will shake these over and back again. It enables me to keep my tray as close to the diamond painting or the section I'm working on as possible, and in turn makes the process quicker. I just lifted up two then, but one of them decided to drop off my pen just not quite in the right place, just to be a toad. Nicola, she says, do you have a link, she said, for the Etsy shop where you bought the cross stitch? She said she would really love to have a go at it. She's been cross stitching since she was about 11, too many years ago. Yeah, I've been cross stitching since I was probably about the same age, maybe a little bit younger, and I'm not counting the years anyway. She says, but she has never used blended threads before. She said it's so gorgeous, and she totally needs another project on the go. Well, when you commented, which she has actually clarified and said she has 4 diamond paintings on the go, a Heaven and Earth design cross stitch, and more cross stitch unidentified objects than she can count. She says, however, the magpie in her sees shiny new things to try. Well, I did see Nicola's comment and I did go to find the link so that I was able to send it to her. I found the item in my Etsy, so I know I'm on the right item. But it actually tells me on Etsy that the item and the shop that it was sold in is no longer on Etsy. So both the shop and the item has gone, I'm afraid. So I can't send you a link. I can't send you the link to it at all because it's not there. So I do apologise about that. I tried to enable you. I tried. Kathy, she says, count me among those that wear jammies and diamond paint all day. She says, and she walks around talking to herself. Don't worry, she says, I also talk to you when I watch your videos. Love it. At least you're not just talking to yourself. See, you're talking to other people as well. That all makes perfect sense to me. Love it. Debbie says she's loving the advent calendar. She said she had the 12-day advent, which has now been opened. She is loving, she states a couple of items she's loving, but we will save those for later. And she says now to open the 12-day advent that her friend made for her. Oh, lovely. So you get your full 24 days. All Things Crafty by Kaz. She says in relation to placing diamonds, she said she used to start at the top right hand side when she first started diamond painting. Then she switched it up and now she starts from the bottom left hand side, which is what I've done on this one. She says, as that feels more natural to me, as she's right-handed. Yeah, I think that's the reason I start in the same way. It took me a while, or at least it took me a bit sort of mentally to realise that it wasn't like cross stitch and you didn't need to start in the middle like I do with a cross stitch, which is primarily to keep the design in the middle of your thread, middle of your fabric, and that you could start anywhere. But yeah, I quickly gravitated to the bottom left hand corner, and I think, you know, it's the angle that I hold the pen that makes that feel better for me. She also says that whilst watching this video, she has finished her Christmas edition diamond paintings. She says, please enjoy your hollybobs to Australia and spending time with your family, lamb. Thank you, Kaz. Debbie says, please do a catered art painting. She says she's interested in ordering from them and she would like my opinion. That does seem to be the general consensus from the question that I asked the other day. So yeah, and in fact that's one of the videos that I want to try and get done this weekend, is to de-kit I Choose You that is now finished, and to kit up a catered art painting. Cat Lady says she had another busy day today. She did take today's square in 2 parts between jobs. She still needs to prep tea, and then she needs to bake her Christmas cake. She says she's so late this year. Time is flying this year. It really is. There are many months that I know I've said have just disappeared, and where has the time gone and all the rest. But yeah, even December seems to be, I don't know, seems to have gone from like the 3rd to the 17th in a day. It even though we have had the days, it feels so quick. So quick. Liz, she says, thanks for this, Rebecca. She says, Ari, one of your comments, she said your comment about doing one of the paintings from a new supplier, she said, instead of one from your stash. She said she thinks this is a good idea. She said might make me spend more money on diamond paintings though. She said she received her December launch items today. This was on the 13th, so this was a very quick delivery. She says she loves the pink pouch and the purple glitter tray. And yes, she said she did fall asleep, so she missed out on the pen and the pink tray. She says she has been adding some clear crystal drills in place of the white ones so that she can add an extra little bit of sparkle. Add that bling, it's Christmas. Right, I'm now going to pull my diamonds that weren't the right way up back over. See how many more I can get to lie flat. Very nearly there. Before I go about turning my tray around, I want to try and get as many as I can on here. I thought I might have tipped out too many, but considering I've still got the other side of the tree to do, I might have tipped out enough and not actually have loads left over when I've finished. We shall see. I did finish reading that comment. Cassie says she is loving the Advent this year. She said it's looking lovely. She received her zesty tray today. She said, so thank you very much. She says she's been trying to get hold of a limited edition since September 21. She says, as she never knows when the release date is. She says, keep up the good work, and she hopes 2023 is a blessed year for you and your business and all in your life. Oh, thank you, Cassie. I don't know if it will help you or indeed if it'll help somebody else, but our launch dates are announced on our Facebook and on YouTube. So I pop a YouTube video up with the new releases the Saturday before they release on the Friday. We tend to do the notification of what's being released on the first Saturday of the month. So first Saturday of the month for December was the 3rd, and they release the Friday after that, which was the 9th. It is actually the same for January, so we will be announcing them on the 7th, which is the first Saturday, and they will be released on the 13th. So just so you know when things are coming up. So the announcement will go on YouTube 6 days before it launches, which gives you enough time to sign up for any wait lists and to be able to see what is coming. And then you can choose whether you potentially want to stay up or be alert for launch, compared to, you know, whether the items aren't for you or not. You get to see before the madness. Jackie, she says, yes, she thinks it will be a good idea to do a carrot art picture. She said because it is really product testing and you can't give a complete summary / critique until you've done one from start to finish. See, all I need is a few comments like that and off I go. It will be a carrot art. Laura says the same. She says, and you're new to you company. So yeah, I will do one from Oraloa as well. But what I think I'll do is I'll do one from Carrot Art. I will then let the decision wheel choose one, which will include Carrot Art and Oraloa, the ones that I've unboxed at the time. So I'll do a decision wheel and see what it picks. And then if the decision wheel doesn't pick an Oraloa, then I will do one from Oraloa and then I'll go back to my decision wheel. Because then I do get a chance to see what they are like. Because I've got high hopes, and as I say, the quality looks amazing. As stated in the video, there doesn't seem to be any problems at all. But you never quite know until you are placing those diamonds down whether that is definitely the case or not. There is loads of this blue in the background, isn't there? It's not a bad thing, but there is a lot of this blue. Amy says she likes to work from the top left primarily. But with her advent, she's done from the top right to the bottom. Then she works to the left. But normally she works the top row and then works down. It's amazing how we all just have different ways. And I think a lot of it must be what we're used to with the pen. I'm used to putting my pen this way, coming in this way. But some people may be used to going, more that way with their pen. And whatever you feel comfortable with is the best way to do it, because that's all the fun. Deb, she says, hi Rebecca. She says talking about a party for finishing your Heaven and Earth design. She said it definitely needs to be completed on camera. She says we can all virtually place the last diamond. That is the truth. The last section needs to be done on camera, no doubt. She says she's absolutely loving the Advent videos. She says safe travels to Australia and happy Christmas to you and your family. Thank you. I am hoping that once I have got over jet lag from Australia, depending on which way it affects me, if it affects me the normal way, i.e. I'm wide awake at 6, but in bed by 6-7 o'clock, then I might start it the week I get back, depending on how much stuff I have to catch up on. But my initial plan at this moment, because things can change, is to start doing a section of my Heaven and Earth design a day. And I might not just do it for the month, I might just do it continuous. But if I do take a day off for whatever reason, maybe it be the weekend and we're going out, or maybe I have some sort of deadline that I need to get done and I don't get to do it that day, then that's fine. I will just be, tomorrow will be another day, and continue to work on it as much as I can in the hope of continuing until it's completed. Because when I was setting that routine of doing a section a day, it worked really well until I got too busy to do it. But I made it through August, so it will be nice to keep going with that and see how far I can get. And then throw in a whip and chat every now and then to give you guys sort of a progress update. Right, I've got the last few diamonds that are the wrong way round. Let's see how many of them I can get to go the right way round. There's just a few that are being a little bit stubborn, but that's fine. I'll fight with those when I get to them. That, or I'll ignore them and go for the ones that are the right way up for a bit. I don't have that much left to do, so I might turn my tray round in a bit and get the ones that are behaving themselves, and they can have the pleasure of being on a painting, and the ones that aren't behaving themselves can go back in the box. Lady Dax, she says she's not just completing day 13, she said she is also completing day 14, as tomorrow is their arts and crafts group party. She says P, Jelly and I are doing all the catering ourselves. So with the prep for that and my not so clever decision to sort our home Yule tree and decks, she says we're both shattered. She said tomorrow will be an early start and a very full day. She says, but at least when we do get home, she says I can sit back and relax and watch your day 14 video. She says, oh, and please do the first carrot art painting that you unboxed. I think we might be thinking of the same one. Lady Dax, I think that is the one that I am wanting to do. She says she really wanted that one. She says, but by the time I knew they would ship to the UK, she said it was sold out. Is that, hopefully that's one that they're going to be able to redo or restock at some point. I'll have to try and have a look. Nancy, she says, thanks Rebecca. She's glad to hear our story about the creation of Add More Zest. She said, a success story if we ever heard one. She says she's still catching up, but she's having fun. She said, happy Christmas. I am glad you are enjoying it and getting there bit by bit. Crystal says, ha ha ha, she says, OMG, she says, I talk to myself all the time. She said when she was nursing, her charge nurse asked me if I was talking to her one day, and I said, no, I'm just talking to myself. She said that's the only way to get the right answer. True. She's used that ever since. As she says, and she lives in her jammies because she's now retired. Classic. You do get the right answer from yourself most of the time. Sometimes I do disagree with myself. That's when I'll often speak to somebody else because I can't make my mind up. Jeanette, she says, hi Rebecca. She says she has to admit that she is a wee bit jealous of seeing the post on the Facebook group, she says, with the new shop items. She says, looking forward to receiving hers. She said, hopefully she will have received it by the time I read the comment. She says, thanks again for everything that you do for our community. That is, some of those orders were super quick though. That turned up, but hopefully that helps with the excitement and makes it even more exciting when yours do arrive, because you know that you're going to get nice goodies. I've just heard the doorbell go. I'm waiting to see if Luna starts barking. I can hear hubby telling us to stay. I reckon we're still going to end up with some barking. There we go. There we go, just heard one bark. The doorbell's gone. She's getting there. If there's a couple of people in the house, she will go sit on her bed and she won't bark. If there's one person, only one person in the house though, she can't help herself to go and have a look and then goes barking ballistic. The joys. I did quite well. I mean, I'd still have loads of diamonds left, but in the fact that I thought I'd have even more diamonds left, but that was a big area. So background is done. I'm going to go for black, and then I'm going to fill in the prettiness of the tree. So I think I'll get away with emptying this container this time. So we'll get this, say this is the end at the bottom of the bag. So there is some little bits of plastic and stuff about in this one, which is mainly unavoidable. So I'm going to use all the diamonds in this tray before I tip any more in if needed, because then I can get rid of the junk. But look at the black. I love the black going in. I really do. So Alaya says she's definitely not watching day 8 on day 12. So she's commented that she's a few days behind. And she also said that Peaches and Diamonds comment should be in your tips and tricks list. Yeah, I do need to get the rest of my tips and tricks written down and start to bring back and finish off those videos. Maybe that should be my YouTube channel for 2023. I don't know, a challenge, sorry. I've got a few different things that I want to do, and hopefully I can put as many of those in place as possible. Nancy says a day of positive news, views and comments. She says thank you, Rebecca. She said she's still catching up. She is only one day behind now. She was out with her girlfriends for a fun adventure yesterday. So all good reasons to be catching up. Perfect reasons to be catching up. She said tomorrow she heads to the city to another girlfriend's house to do some Christmas baking together. See, that sounds like me time. And then you just get more diamond painting time when you have the free time. Still all me time, that's for sure. Anika says she's seen the new canvas from Oraloa and she says she loved it. She said, I think you should do that one. Big and bright with lots of colours. It was actually unboxing one of theirs that made me think about it. It was when I was doing that video that made me think, hang on, I should be doing at least one of them, just so I, truly know, how good they are, and if indeed they do meet what they look like they'll meet, if that makes sense. If they are as good as they look, that's what it is. So yeah, it was that video that made me think about it. But I've actually opened quite a few carrot art paintings and haven't done one of those either. So I thought it's only fair that I do a carrot art first, because I've had them in my stash longer. And then I will do an Oraloa. So it won't have to wait long for me to do one of them. And yeah, once I've done one of each, then it will just be back to the normal decision wheel. And it may be that I do, another one of them quite soon after. Or it may be that I don't do another one for a while. Who knows? I don't. Karen says, hello, having fun with the diamond painting and advent goodies. Just prizing apart a couple of drills that were just stuck together, just on the edge. But trying to make sure I don't pick up any of these rubbish bits in the process, because I don't need those on my painting or stuck in my pen. So just got a couple that are sort of like connected but not connected. So they're not connected as part of the process. They've probably just got a little bit of residue of something on them. Get these all in, and then it'll be like my white. I won't have any odd little bits when I tip out of the part that I put in first from the bag. Yeah, Karen says she's having fun with the diamond painting and Advent goodies. She said, regarding your next large painting, she said, yes, you should choose one from Carrot Art. She says on her decision wheel, she had originally just 2 wheels, one for square and one for round, regardless of size. Then, however, she said it kept choosing Diamond Art Club paintings, as that's what she has the most of. She said also it was choosing a lot of Randall Spangler paintings because she also has a lot of those in her stash. So now she has chosen to do 4 wheels, 1 square, 1 round, 1 Randall Spangler and 1 other. Once Advent is over and she completes her current Diamond Art Club painting, she'll spin her other wheel so that she gets a little bit of variety. And sometimes you do need that. I mean, my decision wheel has done pretty well at the moment with, you know, Dreamers Designs being one that I've done. I'm pretty sure I've done a Diamond Art Club recent. Like, we might not be talking within the last 6 months, but we are talking within the year. I'm sure I've had a Diamond Art Club out of the stash. And the I Choose You was for the event, so I did sneak that one in from Diamond Art Studio. Though I must admit I probably have more Diamond Art Studio paintings in my list than possibly other companies. I'm trying to think if it is exactly more or if it's very similar to Diamond Art Club. Because I have a lot of Diamond Art Club as well, to be fair. So yeah, I'm going to see how I go. If I do find that it is I'm doing the same company over and over and over, then I might have to split up my wheels so that I can vary them up. But for now, I'm going to sneak those 2 in and do it that way. Right, I've got all my black on there that is not just the remnants of the bag. So I've emptied my tray out, and then let's go for the nicer 310s. So there we go. We've got no trashy little bits in there now because they were all together in one place and they're now gone. But that's another pot that I did have double of. Needed 2 for my diamonds. That is now empty. Alice says, Rebecca, you are forever telling your followers, aka fans, she said, to take me time. She says, and I know that you do YouTube while you diamond paint. She says, but don't you forget to take me time. She said, you seem so busy between the shop life and YouTube. And even though you enjoy all of the above, she says, to some degree, it's still your job as such, and you need to take me time. She says, take care of number 1. Oh, thank you so much, Elise. I did go the hairdressers the other day, so that was a 4 hours of me time while I was there. Megan and I actually went at the same time. And I did nip out yesterday with hubby. We went into town. I think we only caught like the last hour and a half before the shop shut. But I did manage to pick up a few items, which in turn will be for Christmas for me, because I admit I'm very hard to buy for. And we had a meal out while we were out. So I have squoze in some me time, and I do often get to diamond paint myself that's not on video, so I do class that as me time as well. I actually got a section of my mystery painting done this morning while I was waking up and getting my caffeine into my bloodstream. So I did get a little bit in before I started doing this video too. But thank you. Yeah, I do try and squeeze in some time. Primarily, you know, a bit of downtime, diamond painting time, even if it is just half an hour of chilling with that. Right, we have a tree. We have a tree. I do need to take my cardigan off because it gets so warm in here when there's no cold air blasting in. Let's get my number 17 done, and then we can add some nice colour to this one as well. Kay, she says, love the little cutie playing in the snow. She says she's finally finished her 3 Manchester City diamond paintings. She says she watched today's Great Whip and Waffle. She says plus day 1 and 2 of last year's Advent to keep her company. She says while she finished the last 2 squares and then framed the 3 paintings plus the Elsa painting, because she did 3 Man City and an Elsa. She says although she really enjoyed doing them, she was eager to get into the Christmas spirit. So she's chillaxing with a couple of Christmas themed special / partial diamond paintings, which are relaxing to do. I think the fact you don't have a time constraint as well, because they're not necessarily a gift, albeit they're Christmas themed. If they didn't get finished this year, you could still do them next year. Helps to take the pressure off as well. That's for sure. Right, I'm going to go for this anchor symbol, but that's primarily because it's in the tray that I've just put the black into. Doing it a little bit backwards, see? A little bit different, which sometimes is nice to do, just something that you wouldn't normally do, because normally I would do this symbol first. But I'm just throwing a little bit of a different bit out there, because why not? Change it up, makes it fun. Anna says more than halfway through. She says after being very patient, she says she was finally able to open bag 1 of her 12-day Advent box. She says she's looking forward to her future baggy openings. So we have at least one person. I know there's more than that. At least one person that has saved their Advent and resisted the temptation for long enough to start opening on day 13. So I think well done to you for that, Anna. Tammy says, hi Rebecca. She says, yes, we need a party, she says, for the completion of your Heaven and Earth design. She said she was lucky enough to get Zesty Wolf last year. She said, and she agrees, if it was available, she would be interested in getting it in square. It was a very nice painting, she said. Thank you. Roz said it's looking absolutely lovely. She said she is moving house 2 weeks after Christmas. I thought you were going to say just before Christmas then, though it's been after 2 weeks when... Has it been? Yeah, it's more than 2 weeks before Christmas when you commented, so my brain hadn't caught up. She says she'll be doing her square kit next Christmas, because of course you have a lot of packing to do. She says, although she says she doesn't know if she will wait that long and will want to do whatever I'm planning for next year, where you will have options. If you're all moved and all ready, you may find that you could do both at Christmas. Do a section a day along with me, and then maybe have the time to do another section on this year's Advent. Who knows what 2023 will bring to us all? We never do. Hopefully nice things is the best. Roz says, absolutely great idea to test out new suppliers for us all. She says, especially the higher quality ones that can rival DAC. She says that are too expensive for us Brits. I think a lot of it is just knowing if the quality is there for the price. So that it's a matter of options, isn't it? They all support artists with doing licensed artwork, and if they all do the higher quality, then I think it's nice to have that wider choice of artists initially, but then also to maybe be able to choose one that's local to you, or, you know, buy the art dependent on the most cost effective for you as well when you want to treat yourself. A lot depends on what your budget is or what offers places have on at certain times. I'm just using my little wax pen again. Becky says, wonderful whip and chat today. She says she doesn't normally comment as she watches on the TV. Completely understandable. She says she's only been diamond painting since October and she's completely hooked. Welcome to the Hooked Club. She says your videos have helped me so much. She's working 2 days behind, she says, on the Advent, as she'll be having surgery tomorrow and didn't want to get behind. 2 days ahead, not 2 days behind, 2 days ahead. She's out of work for a few months and she's hoping to complete a lot while she's stuck at home. It'll definitely go a lot quicker stuck at home if you get to diamond paint. She says, thank you for all you do. She says she's on a no-buy until she is working again, but she said she may have to make an exception for the trashy. Well, I hope your surgery has gone well, because we have passed the day. So I hope your surgery's gone well, Becky, and that you are getting to relax and recover. Take it easy, primarily. And if you are feeling well enough, diamond painting is something that is good to do without moving about too much. Depending on what you've had done, and you don't need to say, that's not me asking, but depending on what you've had done, then sitting and resting may be the best thing for you. Stephanie has also said, she says she thinks it's a good idea to give the new company to you a try. Yes, well, Carrot Art, once I open the painting, will be a very good new to me painting to do. Rude camera, very close to finishing. Yeah, I think they're a new one that I've not done yet, and they're one that I have been excited. The decision wheel got so close to picking one of them once, and I think there's still a little bit of disappointment that it didn't. So yeah, I'll be very happy to give them a go on my next large painting, and then we'll see what the decision wheel has in store. But day 17 is done. We have a Christmas tree decorated. So we have our inside trees and our outside trees are decorated. Day 18 tomorrow, which then leaves us only with squares that will start to fill gaps, and not enough of them. There's not enough squares left. I need a few more to be left. But that is today's done. Please join me tomorrow while I do day 18. I'm just having a quick look. It looks to have a white background. Day 18. Looks pretty from what I can see from here, so I'm sure we'll see it in its full glory tomorrow. But thank you so much for watching, and I'll speak to you all then.